What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unpack Your Bag Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Perks, and we have Chantel back on the show again, per usual. That's a shortened version of saying usual, per usual, you know? So I wanted to add that in there. And we are live today on Instagram. Everybody in the feed, I see you guys in there. I got a few heads in there. What's going on, y'all? So we're going to get right into the podcast, but before I do that, I'm going to take a quick sip of my drink. You know, it's a little, you know what I'm saying? Cardi B is trash. Okay, that's the first comment I just read.
Cardi B is trash. Yo.
Okay, but before we get into Cardi B, we're gonna talk about
I'm not like a super big Cardi B fan, but that beat slap. And that's really all you need to be successful in music today is a slap, is a beat that go hard like that.
I don't care for Cardi. I do like Cardi B, not her music, but I do like her. And the reason why I like her is because she just be honestly really herself.
I'm not mad at all.
I think like 100% she just be like her.
And I don't care. And I'm
a little
not
ratchet sometimes, a little classy. You know what I mean?
A little ratchet?
I don't watch her too much. I'm just saying, like in general, like, she just be like wild out there. But she's just her. She's her.
Super ratchet. And it's cool. Like again, I don't care that much.
I'm not judging. It's cool. Like. I just respect people that be themselves. That's all. I
am super susceptible to a great beat and a catchy hook or lyric or whatever. So that I got hoes in this house. Like
it's bad.
It's real catchy. It's real catchy.
Someone said we have daughters, which is I understand I have a daughter, but the song is still tight.
That's cool. Like, you know, don't let your daughter listen to Cardi B.
This is true. Just don't.
That's you know. That's I think
that's a very good point. Very good point. I mean, she doesn't bother me. This doesn't bother me. But whatever Autumn listen to it, probably not.
You know what the truth is?
Probably
most people living their life and doing what they think doesning bother me. Period. I don't care.
Well, I look at this way.
We make a decision to listen or not listen.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Well, you know, I think when I started listening to Eminem when I think I was like when I was 9 years old, I think. Mm-hmm. I'm fine. So, I mean...
Yo, and Eminem is real... early Eminem was real graphic.
I mean, he was like talking about killing his wife and burying her in a ditch with the daughter there. Like, you know, it's kind of... Yeah. You know how much you wanted to kill her and end her life? I mean, I was a little kid like, yeah, what about that? Like, I didn't realize at the time, you know, all the crazy stuff about doing drugs and killing people and rape, all this crazy stuff. So I turned out fine.
I'm not mad.
I think I'm okay. I feel okay.
I mean, it's not something that's going to be in my regular playlist, right? Because my regular playlist doesn't include Cardi B or that's not that kind of music isn't my jam on the regular. But like, you know, after a few drinks, you know what I'm saying, and you out. You know, I got hoes in this house. Come in, you might be like, I got hoes in this house.
That'd be a really good party song for sure.
Like, the club won't go up. But here's the thing: shout out to Cardi B for knowing what her lane is and staying in it. She know what her lane is. I'm not trying to make music for your kids to listen to. I'm trying to make this. I'm trying to make this beat. When you hear it, you gonna come on. You know what I'm saying? It's the same like her first song that came out. Mm-hmm. What's the? I don't
know the first song, but she's always been kind of
her
like
first song when she was a stripper. These is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Something. Yeah. I don't fuck with you. I don't know the name of that song. Even her. That's Cardi B too. That was her first song.
I didn't even know. It shows you how much I listen to her.
Hey,
but like I said, I don't mind her. She don't bother me. I think she cool. Like
I don't mind it.
I think it's more of you, is you just yourself. If you are yourself, then that's cool.
The lyrics are super graphic.
Yeah,
super vulgar.
Oh,
super
yeah.
vulgar.
I was like,
like I won't be saying that part of the song, but like I got hoes in this house.
Music video. What y'all feeling about the music video? You seen it?
I did see the music video.
Someone says Matthias says anybody can be a Cardi B, and there's an echo. You guys, is there echo for you guys still?
Echo.
Put a thumbs up if there's an echo, please.
Anybody can be a Cardi B. That's not necessarily true.
Oh, I see. It's double feedback. I got you.
Got you. You hear it?
I see. Yeah. I understand.
Why don't you sign on to yours and mine?
It won't make the difference. It'll still be the same thing. Beats hard. Lyrics are horrible.
Beat slap.
The beat does slap.
That beat slap. And if you don't want to acknowledge that, we can't have an honest conversation because that beat slap.
I'm talking and then it's going through my mic and it's also going to her mic, which is causing a double loop.
The feedback.
Yeah, it's an echo because it's going twice through both microphones at the same time. Sorry, guys, we'll have to figure this out. Maybe I'll talk a little lower. But
take the bass out your voice.
I'm not doing that. Excuse you. You got the nerve. But no, anybody can be Cardi B. I don't think so.
No, that's like saying anybody could be Chantel or anybody could be.
I mean,
Anthony.
in the sense
it's
of,
not the case.
I mean, anybody could be a stripper and then also become a rapper. I mean, anybody technically could.
No,
but
that's not true because here's the thing: if anybody could do it, then more people would do it.
No, I didn't say on the level of Cardi B.
If all the strippers could go make millions of dollars being a rapper, then they wouldn't be strippers no more. They would be rappers.
That's true.
If everybody could do it, then everybody would do it.
Okay, she's still trying.
But she's not. Yeah, she's not on the Cardi B level, and I don't even know who Joseline Hernandez is.
I don't know who that is. I really don't know. They said, "What's special about Cardi B?"
I mean, the fact that she making millions of dollars selling records is what's special about Cardi B. Let's keep it real.
Touche. I mean, yeah.
Like the fact that she's making millions of dollars, the fact that we're spending time in our lives talking about this song that just dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what makes her special. She's relevant.
Which was pretty
whether you like it or not.
That song came out right now. That is kind of interesting with everything going on.
Why is it interesting?
I don't know. I honestly, what I felt like was the song was a really big a big distraction.
Oh, for sure. Yes.
Which, I mean, I'm saying it's necessarily a bad thing, but I think it was a huge distraction. Yeah. Like, everyone's attention went from everything else to Cardi B in this song.
Okay, so here's the thing.
So is that a play?
Is that a credit to Cardi B, or is that a credit to the short attention span of the consumer, right?
Both.
So then that's something. So then again, that's not Cardi B's problem. That's, you know what I mean? As the consumer, that's our problem.
No, I mean it was a smart play on her. But also there's more things that you can be, talking about at this point in age.
Is that going to make her money?
It could.
Is that going to pay her mortgage?
It could.
Come on, man. Nah.
It could.
No.
You never know.
No, I got hoes in this house that's paying her mortgage right now. Right?
It just shows the society we live in how we are.
For sure.
I mean, that's really what it shows more than anything.
I mean, the way I see it is don't hate the player, hate the game, right? You're hating Cardi B, right? Instead of hating the system that made her popular.
Okay, well, Tyler said they just don't want to sell their souls for fame. So who doesn't want Cardi B? The people. He said anybody can be Cardi B, and then the people that don't because they don't want to sell their souls for fame.
That's not true. Like that's not true.
No, I think that some people
you're
do.
Underestimating the struggle of really being broke, right? Really having no option but to strip for money, right? To maintain that lifestyle, right? You're underestimating what that takes. And if there's some people who can really make that transition from being stripper to rapper, they're going to do it.
I mean, yeah. That's
Why
true.
would you not?
Maybe some people like being strippers more. Some people just.
Now, there's a show called Beyond the Pole.
There probably are people who like being strippers. But I think if we were to take a poll today of all of the strippers, and we could say, can you rap?
No, I guess
you want to be a rapper?
Have you met a stripper before? Like in real life? And talk to them?
Yes.
A rapper stripper?
A rapper stripper? No, I didn't ask her if she was a rapper, but she was a stripper for sure.
Okay, they said, no, the people that don't want to be famous rappers do not sell their soul for the gram. That's what I meant. Or for fame.
Well, at this point, you gotta do some gram.
I don't agree. I don't
if you want to be famous, there's certain...
Just don't be a stripper.
If you want to be if you want to be famous,
don't be a stripper.
There's certain things you got to do to be famous. Let's keep it real. If boring people could be famous, then we would all be fucking famous.
That's why there's YouTube people that are famous. There's people that are boring that make their boringness appeal to other people that are boring, and then they. I mean, really, it's getting where you fit in.
Crab legs.
Oh, that was stupid.
Crab legs?
That was stupid.
Crab legs? What? She's eating crab legs?
I got hoes in this house.
No.
All right, I don't know how much longer I can sustain a conversation on Cardi B, y'all.
Okay, for sure. Who we going
she
to
cool,
next?
But like.
Okay, so we'll go in a tiny bit of politics just because everybody knows I don't even talk about politics. I don't know anything about politics.
A tiny bit.
But there is a lady, Kamala Harris, who is the vice president for Joe Biden. Okay. Which is a big deal because I think she's the first woman vice president and then the first of color vice president in general, right?
Okay. I'm with it.
But I'm curious as to why, if everyone is like super against Joe Biden for him saying like black people would just be Democrat and shut up pretty much, then how is it that there's a black woman,
said it.
There's a black woman for VP, but how come people don't realize like, okay, you're just calling this guy a racist and this is like literally 2 weeks ago, and now you're praising him for putting on a black woman? Is that a ploy to get the black votes?
Duh. So that's exactly what this is. That's exactly what this is. Make no mistake about it. I don't necessarily think that's that people are falling for it. One thing I know,
because
and the reason
it's a
why
smart move. It's smart. I
don't know why people are so surprised by it. Like the fact that people are genuinely surprised and like, yay, oh my goodness, this is amazing, this is remarkable that Joe Biden picked Kamala Harris to be his running mate. Like, first of all, I thought he was going to do this 6 months ago when she first dropped out of the race, right? Because she was running in the primaries against Joe Biden. Let's make that clear.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And the first thing is that people do not want Donald Trump to win another election, right?
For sure.
In order for Donald Trump to not win another election, the Democrats got to come correct.
Okay.
Because if they run the same way they ran last year, they will lose.
Okay.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay. So we understand that.
Okay.
Now, the biggest way to get over that hump is you have a collection of black voters, right, who need to be addressed.
Okay.
Black voters who are, guess in what age group? Ours.
Okay.
Ours,
maybe
right?
In 20s, okay, for sure.
Ours.
Okay,
that need to vote. And there's a hole in that demographic of black people, our age group, voting.
Okay.
Okay.
I get that. Okay.
No, they don't necessarily have a voting history to a specific party and or affiliation.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't vote or nothing like that.
Wide open. Okay. So we don't want Donald Trump to win.
Yeah.
Joe Biden won the nomination.
Okay.
So Joe Biden has to run against Donald Trump. Okay.
Okay.
Joe Biden ain't did shit for black people other than be Barack Obama's vice president.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
That's the only thing he did for black people, right? Was he was next to the black man when the black man was running the show.
Okay. Okay.
You can argue that Barack Obama didn't really do a whole lot for black people.
Agree. I would agree with that.
I would make that argument as well, right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So now that we have all of this shit straightened out,
okay,
in order for Joe Biden to be relevant,
he needs to have a black.
He needs a black agenda, which he does not have, right?
Okay,
you know how you get the people to back off of a black agenda?
Put a black person there.
Put a black person on the ticket, baby.
Okay, but if that's the case, how come people don't realize that and still don't vote for him anyways?
Because your alternative at this point is who?
Donald Trump.
Donald fucking Trump.
But I did get a stimulus.
Donald fucking Trump.
I did get money.
You did get money, but you didn't get another one. And you got $1,200 in a state where that may not cover your rent.
This is true.
Let's put it all in perspective, right? The whole country got $1,200.
But the unemployment went up where they gave out more money during unemployment.
Do you know how many people are still waiting to receive unemployment benefits?
Oh, I don't know.
A whole heap of people.
I don't know. So I didn't have to do it.
Okay, so then it's a lot of things, right, that come into play that they're like, oh, well, Donald Trump did this. Well, Donald Trump did this. I don't know. Make your own debate. All I'm going to say is there's still some things to think about.
Yeah.
Thing number one to think about when they throw that stimulus in your face is that $1,200 ain't shit. And $1,200 ain't shit in California.
This is very true. This is very true.
It's not shit in California.
This is very true.
Thing number two. Yes, the unemployment benefits went up, but how many people are still waiting to receive unemployment benefits? And the country cannot afford to sustain paying people that much.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because inflation is going to go up and the dollar value is going to decrease. You know, I get it. But back to the whole Joe Biden, Kamala Harris thing. I just don't see why people are ecstatic if they understand that it's just a chess move. And that's all it is.
That's all it is.
There's no real care
people
about.
People are ecstatic
there's no care about the demographic like that. They're just caring about, hey, get me in, put a black person there.
This is about
so why
one
do people
person's.
Vote?
This is about one person's candidate winning. That's what this is about. That's why people are ecstatic. People are ecstatic because with a black person on the ticket addressing some sort of black agenda, then you will get us to vote for them, right? And if we vote for them, then Trump loses. And if Trump loses, yay, everything's going to go back to normal and be better. Except that's not true, people. But whatever.
But at this point, you heard Joe Biden say like all this crazy stuff a few weeks ago. Who's proving more of a there's a more of a black issue there than it was a Donald Trump. Like, I've never heard Donald Trump say anything about black people particularly. I haven't personally.
Okay.
So I heard Joe Biden say something, but then he gets a black VP, and everyone's like, "Go Joe Biden!" Even though technically, I've never heard in my personal ears Donald Trump say anything about black people in any derogatory way. Like, just be a Democrat and vote. Like, we know if you ain't black, if you aren't voting for much Democrat, you're not black. From a white person.
If you look,
they say that, and then now there's another white person who's president. And you're saying like everyone hates him more. I don't understand.
You're not going to get.
I just don't think. Just after seeing him say that comment in front of everybody, what does he say behind closed doors? And I haven't heard anything.
Probably same sentiment.
So I mean, I just think like,
why are we expecting white people to, like, at this point in society? And this is about to fuck a whole lot of people up. I'm really sorry about this. But why are we expecting white people to understand, to have sensitivity to a black issue or to black people as a whole? We shouldn't.
I'm not expecting that.
That's where we go wrong, because we're like, oh, I can't believe he said that about black people. You can't believe he got hurt saying it about black people? You couldn't believe that he had the sentiment?
No, what I'm saying is, it has been shown that this guy said this in a public eye in front of everybody, and yet the other guy, everyone's saying is racist and this and that, but I've never heard anything saying anything about black people particularly. So in that sense, Joe Biden has said something verbatim, and I haven't heard Donald Trump say anything, but everybody thinks
Donald Trump
racist.
is also the same guy when they had the white supremacist rally in, where was it, like South Carolina, a couple months after he got elected, that he called them very nice people, right? He called the white supremacists very nice people. So if that's not, you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that is really where you have to, excuse me?
All I'm saying is, I get that.
Right.
And all I'm saying
is,
how
about the way that he
just don't vote for either. Don't vote either one. Just don't vote. Don't vote either one.
But that's not an option, though. That's not an option, though, because while I understand that whether or not I believe in our votes mattering for the presidential election, I still go back and forth on that. I'm kind of neutral on the presidential election, but it's the most. For a lot of people, it's the biggest election, right? That comes around. However, you need to take that and you need to use it to vote in your local elections, guys. That's where we're losing. That's why I don't fuck with Kamala Harris. I don't fuck with Kamala Harris because of her days as a prosecutor, right? We vote that position in. We vote in the person who is going to prosecute, right? The people who decides what goes to trial, who decides the sentencing, mandatory minimums and shit like that directly affect our community, right? The DAs, we won't show up for that election. That's how Jackie Lacey ended up in Los Angeles, our DA for Los Angeles. That's how Jackie Lacey ended up with a second term. And she's a black woman, but she is super pro-police.
Okay.
Super pro-police. But because she's a black woman, people are like, oh, let's get her in there. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, these are the elections that we have a lot of power in and a lot of control in, where we can really make some shit happen, right? But we let that go because of the way that we feel about the presidential election. And so many things, in my opinion, at the presidential level don't trickle down to affect our communities. Yeah. What does are these Senate seats, these niggas that's been in the Senate since 1952. Right?
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point.
That affects us.
That's a very good point.
These representatives from California, that affects us. That affects us.
That's true. I get that.
Who's the DA? Who's prosecuting? The fucking judges? We vote in judge seats, people. How many of y'all knew that? We vote in the people that sit in the...
I did not know that.
This the shit we need to be voting on.
How do we know that the votes are even really going to be counted correctly and fair?
Here's the thing.
Like, how do you really know?
Here's the thing. We don't. But what you do is you say that I did my part. If they're counted correctly or not, I did what I was supposed to do to make some shit happen instead of sitting back talking shit. Well, I did my part. Whether or not they're counted, that's above my pay grade, right? But I did my part.
But see, I don't have a problem with it because I don't even focus on it. To me,
it matters.
I'm focused in my lane.
It matters.
And for me, like,
it matters.
It matters. To me, I just don't think
when we're talking about issues of police brutality, right? Going, not being held accountable for their actions.
Okay.
Do you know who decides that? The prosecution. No, the prosecutor decides who's gonna get charges.
Okay. So
that's directly within our control as black people, that's directly in our control as voters. But we want to talk shit about it, right? And we need this, and we need this, and we need this, and we're calling for sweeping reforms. But then no one votes. But then the things that are within our control, we don't.
I get that.
We don't.
I understand that.
We don't.
I understand that. I personally don't vote.
Does it count? I don't know.
You know, I'm not condemning people not to vote. I just don't. For me, I don't. I'm probably not going to. Only time I did vote for Obama.
Why?
Because he's black. That's 100%. Look, I look at that point. That's what cool. I thought.
That's why I voted. That's why I voted for Obama as well. However, but I continue to vote. I continue to vote.
I don't. I might, but at this point, probably not.
And I do research for local elections as well. But I think that's important. I think that's important, especially when it comes to your mayor, your city planner, all of this stuff. Yeah. Because in your cities, right? Like, think about it on a smaller level. In your cities, where does the money for the after school programs go?
I don't know.
Exactly.
That's a good question.
Exactly.
Like, where is it actually? What do they do with the actual money? Like, how are they going to spend the money for the schools?
Not how are they going to spend it? Who decides whether or not an after-school program is even important?
Ah, that's true.
Do you understand what I'm saying? This is what I mean by your local elections, because your local elections are affecting how you live your life.
That's true. Okay, I can see that.
Do you see what I'm saying? Your local elections, so I think voting out here, especially fucking racist ass, conservative ass Lancaster, racist ass, conservative ass Palmdale. But you know what? These rich white folks that live in Quartz Hill and live in the Anaverdes and all of these nice houses around here, they're voting. That's why RNX Paris has been the mayor for the last 10 years.
I think now, knowing that, I'll probably vote locally, but I still won't probably vote presidentially.
That's fine. That's fine. Everybody has the right. And then another reason I vote is just out of spite. Because at one point somebody told me I couldn't do it. That's another reason why I will take my ass up there and I will go in that bitch and press all of the buttons in the motherfucking world, just because at one point I couldn't.
Even at one point, women couldn't even vote in general.
At one point, women couldn't. At one point, black people couldn't. So it's something that they kept people out of.
You're going to be a part of it.
Think about a system that existed that they purposely kept people out of. What does that mean? When they keep people out of the system, they don't want you to fuck up what they got going on. That's what it means when they keep you out of a system, right?
Yeah.
Now that I'm not excluded, whether it counts or not, I'm going in that bitch.
I respect it. I respect it.
I'm pressing all of the buttons. All of the buttons to know that in my grandmother's lifetime, she was discouraged from voting. By discouraged, you know what I mean? By discouraged, right? And I'm not taking my ass in there. Shit.
I get it. Just the way
I'll go in there and press all the buttons.
I think just the way I feel about it is, I just feel like it's a lot more controlled than what they lead us to believe anyways. And whoever they want in is essentially going to be in, and there's no way we can track if the vote counts or not. And if that's the case, and if you're saying what you're saying about, like, we were let out of this at one point and they don't want to give us power, then why would they give us power to even vote and really make it matter?
Here's the thing.
That part doesn't make sense. Like, if their whole MO was about hoarding power and not giving anybody a chance, then they're going to tell you to vote, of course, because they think you're making a difference, but in reality they're just putting what they want in anyways, and that's what I think is the issue. But
we don't know that definitively, do we?
We don't know that.
Okay.
But if
we don't know that definitively.
But if you're going by history and you're going to quote like all these things that happen, then that would make the most sense.
But your conclusion, we don't know that definitively, right? Right?
We don't know either one.
The way that they excluded us from voting is something we do know definitively.
Yeah, for sure.
That's fact, right?
For sure.
Your conclusion, we're not too sure about, right?
Yeah, it's 50-50.
So, what if the flip side to that is they keep feeding you that information so that you won't vote, right? So that you can continue to think that it's less important. It's 50-50, right?
That's
I don't know if my conclusion is correct. I don't know if your conclusion is correct. But on the off side that my conclusion is correct, you know what I'm going to do?
Okay,
take my ass in there and vote.
I get that. That does make sense. I have to rethink my position.
So making it special.
I have to rethink my position because at first I was definitely like no for voting 100%. But
somebody says, hold on, I want to read the comments.
In the sense of that, I might actually do it.
They don't have a voting history. They don't have voting knowledge, and they're kind of discouraged because the last voting with Trump was kind of crooked. Agreed.
Okay.
That's right. The last 4 have been shit. Knowing Obama and the background and his history with the Bushes, do you think that he was just placed as a token black man and it was a political ploy to get things done a certain way? That's something that I actually do believe, but not because of what he's saying, but because typically when black people of color achieve certain positions of power, they shy away from quote unquote black issues. Because in order for them to stay in power, in order for them to stay in place, they have to do things that appeal to the masses, right? And anything that will get you categorized as too black, right, is not going to appeal to the masses. So I think that when people of color do get in positions of power, they have to straddle the bridge, if you will, right, between what's good for my people and what's going to keep me in this spot. Yeah. Does that make sense? So I think that Obama was probably discouraged from taking on black agendas or having a black agenda. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or doing things that would just benefit black people or people of color in this country. That's what I believe. But that's kind of what he's saying.
I understand that. So would you rather have somebody who is in office like that and straddling the fence because they don't want to make too many big moves but don't really do anything, or someone who's kind of aggressive and doesn't really care what anybody thinks but then kind of gets stuff done? When it comes to a person in power, whether white or black?
I don't think white people have this issue.
No, I'm not. I mean, not considering like the race, like a personality.
I think it's a line that you have to straddle. I honestly do. I think it's a line that you have to straddle. However, the way that I'm set up, the way that I'm built, I don't give a shit about online. I don't give a shit about this office. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't give a shit about the way you think you could vote me in or out, right? But the way that I'm set up, the way my integrity is set up, the way I love my people is set up. My mama. I'm just so
I get, in some sense, that's what kind of that's kind of what Kanye does a little bit. He's just super aggressive. Mama. He's just super aggressive with everything.
Bro, I'm not saying find a way to bring Kanye into every conversation, dude.
My friend Matisse is always like, you love Kanye. I don't love Kanye. I just have respect for someone who's outspoken completely, who doesn't care about his title or stature enough to say whatever is on his mind. So that's what I think. So
that's right.
I think that's important to say.
Fucking assholes. They're about to control the whole thing. Armor up. Fear is control.
Yes, fear is control.
I like her aunt. She's real. I don't know who that is. But
it's my friend Tyler. What up, Tyler? Shout out Tyler.
Appreciate y'all.
I did bring him in for this because that particular point made a good point. You know, about being honest. You were saying like, you know, it's all about what I want for my people and stuff. Forget like the codes. Forget straddling.
And the way that I'm set up, like my integrity. You know what I mean? Like my integrity is certain truths. It's certain things that I live by.
So you don't
and
care
it don't
for
matter.
people that you don't like people that straddle. Then essentially,
I'm not saying I don't like people that straddle.
Does that bother you?
It does because I can see it doesn't really bother me. Honestly, it doesn't bother me. Let me take that back. It doesn't bother me. I understand it because I understand the need, because you're thinking that as long as I'm in this office, then I can continue to affect greater change, right? But in order for me to affect greater change, I have to stay in this office. And in order for me to stay in this office, I have to be strategic, right? About like the way I present. Yes, I have about the way that I present things when I bring things up and things like that. So on Jackie Lacey's or the DA side, it's not strategic to go against the police officers, right? It's not strategic to hold somebody accountable for their actions, right? When there's so many reasons not to. Right? And when the city budget for police officers, let's talk about how much police officers get paid. The city budget for police officers in Los Angeles for the last year is $1.86 billion.
Jesus.
$1.86 billion the city of Los Angeles spends on police officers. So if you're a DA, do you go against $1.86 billion? Hell no. Not if you want to stay elected. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So then if that's the case, then it's all crooked still.
It's not. Money is king.
I mean, at this point, it's like wherever the money is, where the people, where there's going to be. So even people that get in office,
but here's the thing,
have that agenda,
that's not cricket.
Get that money,
that's
then
not
it's like,
cricket.
I'm not going to do it anyway.
That's not cricket. You want to know why?
How?
Because in capitalism, money make the world go round.
I agree.
The shit don't function unless the money function, right?
I agree, but then if you're talking about having integrity
that's not cricket again. But that's what I'm saying. As far as the system is concerned, that's not cricket. That's the way it's set up. That's the way it's designed, right? That's the difference between hating the play and hating the game. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
You can't hate the player that's figured out how to play the game.
Okay,
you can't hate that.
But
you got to hate the
player
game.
that's playing the game is not benefiting you, but even though they're saying they're going to, and they wanted to, but then they get in there and they do nothing at all.
That's the game.
So then what's the point?
That's the game.
And there's no point of even going in.
No. There absolutely is a point in going in.
If you're saying that you can't do it, you can't do anything about it because
I didn't
the game.
say you can't do anything about it.
I'm saying is you go in there with the agenda that you want to change something, but the way the game is set up that you can't change the things that you want to change. You can't go against it because there's too much money.
You can't go against it. You made a decision not to. That's the thing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you can't change it. I'm saying that in order to change it, you have to understand that in order to speak on things, you're going to shake up a whole lot of shit. Right. And when you shake up a whole lot of shit, they're not going to want to hear you. Yeah. And because they don't want to hear you, they're going to take you out your spot. So what does that mean? Do you stop talking? No. So then, do you make a decision to go the opposite way? No, that's what I said. That's why I said the way my integrity is set up, right? Okay. Some people's integrity ain't set up like mine.
Got you. Okay.
Right? Their ambition is set up a little bit differently. So they understand that I can't go against this system. I can't speak out because when I do, I lose my spot. And if and for some people, if I lose my spot, I can't feed my family. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get that.
I can't live the life that I'm accustomed to.
Where's your integrity then if that's the case?
They don't got it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the point.
I said my integrity was set up. I can't expect their integrity to match my integrity.
I'm just saying, like, if that's the case and the people's MO is that, but then as soon as a paycheck, I might lose my job, I'm not going to say shit. Fuck them. So then what's the point? You're just going in there to feed your family then. Just be that and be honest. Like, instead of trying to change anything, go in there, say you want to feed your family, and that's it.
That's the thing.
But don't be about, hey, pro this or that, but then
they're not trying to change anything.
You know?
They're not trying to change anything.
That's the problem. That's the problem I see, is we get people that are saying that they want to go in and do this stuff, and they go in there and then the paycheck is there and all they care about is their paycheck and themselves, which I understand. I'm not saying that's wrong.
That's the problem with the world.
Wrong. I'm not saying like they're wrong, but what I'm saying is
that's the problem with the manager at Home Depot.
Just be honest.
Like
just be honest about it. That's what I'm saying. Just be honest. If you don't care about it, just if the money's more important, then say it's more important. Don't play like it's one thing and you want to be about it, but then you know what I mean. That's the problem.
Oh, it's fake.
That's the problem I have.
But the problem that we're describing isn't unique to politicians, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Every fucking body. Yeah. That is the case, right? That's the case of the nigga at Home Depot who don't want to lose his job.
That's true.
Right?
The
nigga at Home Depot who know the manager is stealing, right? But ain't gonna say nothing because the manager gonna fire his ass, right? He gotta feed his family. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get
that.
It's
not just a problem unique to politicians. It's like, the fucking world.
But I think it's like, where is your integrity? Like, okay, then make something for yourself outside of that so you don't have to be sitting there stuck and still be about your principles.
Boom. That's why.
Be about your principles.
That's why we're taught. That's why
be about your principles. That's it. Like
own your own. That's why we're taught that.
But that's why I'm so strong about it, because like, just be about the principles that you say you have. If the standard is for me, it's for everybody else that I associate with as well.
Agreed.
That's it. There should be no in between. There should be no exceptions. Like if it's wrong for me, to cuss somebody out, it's wrong for anybody else to do it too.
Never wrong.
I'm just saying. I'm using it for example. For example, if you cuss somebody out and if it's deemed wrong, then if I do it, it should be wrong the same amount. It shouldn't be different because today was my day. For example, I'm using it as an example of a standard.
Okay.
So don't think about the cuss out being wrong. I'm saying for the example, saying cussing somebody out is wrong. If it is wrong, then you cannot justify it being right in any way, shape, or form. And that's it. It should be okay because I did it because I had a bad day. Shouldn't justify the fact that it's okay. It's still not okay whether you decided to or not. I'm not saying getting cussed out is bad. I'm just using that as an example.
It's interesting that you say that.
That's what I think. It's like the standard should be for everybody.
That take is interesting.
Okay.
Because that's a black or white thing, right? Shit is wrong, it's wrong. If it's wrong, then it's wrong. The shit is wrong. It's either right or it's wrong, right?
Well, that's what we have the Bible for, to tell us what's right and wrong.
But here's the thing, though.
There's right and wrong things,
if that's
right?
the truth, right?
Okay.
If that's the truth, then there wouldn't be a such thing as grace and forgiveness.
I understand that.
We have grace and forgiveness.
Yes.
Because of the motives and the things that happen in our life that lead us to wrong.
I understand that.
That's grace. But that's forgiveness.
I get that.
That's not black and white.
Warranted. I get that.
That's like
also,
it was wrong.
There was a debt that was paid because of that. There was a debt that was paid.
But why did he pay the debt?
Because we fell short. Because that was
we fell short and what?
We're sinners.
And what?
I don't know.
And what? There's a gray area.
There's a gray area. But okay, that's a gray area. That's like saying if murder is wrong, yes or no?
Not all cases.
So murder is not wrong.
Depends on the situation. And I stand by that. It depends on the situation. If I walk in and I see somebody putting their hands on my mama and I put a bullet in the back of their head, hell no, it ain't wrong.
I'm not saying it's murder. It's killing somebody wrong.
But it was murder.
Yeah, but it's killing somebody wrong.
In that instance, no.
So it's not wrong to kill somebody regardless.
In that instance, no.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do the same thing. All I'm saying is the answer is murder wrong?
In that instance,
it's yes or no.
It's not yes or no.
Then it can't be at all. Then it can't be at all.
That's the problem that I'm trying to show you. Everything is not black and white. It can't be.
I'm not saying that everything is black and white.
Yes, it is.
But because you're saying
it's black and white. Black and white means right or wrong. Right or wrong. Right or wrong. Right or wrong.
Okay.
Right or wrong.
Listen.
I'm Melissa. I'm Melissa.
Did you? So listen. We'll bring the Bible in. Okay. It is wrong for adultery, for lust, all these things. It's wrong. It says it's wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay? There was something called grace that gives us that gray area that if we mess up, we're still saved. But that's not an excuse to mess up because you have grace.
It's not an excuse.
And it's still wrong if you did it. Mm-hmm. So that's like, it's still wrong whether you were justified and something happened. It's still wrong, and it still should be considered wrong regardless of what you felt or thought. If someone was doing something to my daughter, yeah, I'm going to kill him, but it's still wrong. It's still wrong for me to take someone and murder somebody because I know I'm about to kill them and I know it. It's still wrong. There's no way so it can't be like, well, it's okay. It's still not okay. It's still not right. That's the point. It ain't. That's why we have the Bible's laws for this reason. That's all I'm saying. If it's wrong, it should be wrong. And if you have the standard, it should be held accountable to everything. I hear you. That's all I'm saying. If murder is wrong, then abortion should be wrong. If killing somebody is wrong, then if I get drunk and I drive off and somebody dies, it's still wrong. It can't be like, because she did this to my mama, I feel justified.
I hear you.
You may feel at peace, but it's still wrong.
I hear you.
So that's the point I'm making.
I hear you.
And there are laws are for that reason. So
I hear you.
Just say there is gray area, but still, it's still wrong.
I hear you.
So
I hear you.
And that's the problem I have. Because it's like, we can say, we can say like, all right, something is wrong when they do it, but when I do it, it's not. And that's where a problem is. It's like, if you're saying that.
No.
Yeah, if you're saying
it's not specific to me.
Not to you. I'm just saying in general.
I'm okay.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
I disagree.
Okay.
I disagree.
Okay.
Because
how so?
Because the idea that people commit crimes in a bubble is false. Right? A bubble meaning like perfect circumstances, right? Meaning that everything that happened before the crime, during the crime, you understand what I'm saying? And after the crime don't matter. That's not true. That's why the law takes into consideration things like adequate provocation, right?
I understand.
So the sentencing on that would be different than first degree murder. The law takes these things into account because even the law understands, right? The black and whiteness of the law understands and takes into account the fact that everything that we do is not done in a bubble. There are going to be reasons. We are people. We are going to feel emotions, and there are going to be reasons, right, that we do the things that we do.
I understand.
They may still be wrong, right? But
some things are provoked to do. I get that. There's circumstances there's circumstances that happen.
Who determines that?
Right?
And the whole thing that you're bringing up, right? Like these laws about adultery and all of that stuff that was written in the Old Testament for one purpose. Do you know what that purpose was?
No.
To prove that man couldn't live by them. That was the whole purpose of them being written.
Okay. So
prove that we were not going to be able to live live by them. So Jesus.
Okay.
So Jesus.
So
the forgiveness and the grace and the mercy comes. Because he knew when he wrote them, we weren't going to be able to hold up to that. Which is why Jesus Jesus came, right? Jesus died, and God still loves us.
Right.
That's why there's a heaven, and that's why there's an option of heaven now.
Which I get that, and I understand that.
What if it's like saying we're gonna what if we in heaven with a pedophile?
It could happen.
It probably will.
You're forgiven.
It probably will. That's the point that I'm making.
Because you repent.
That's the point that I'm making. Like,
Which,
yes,
I
to
get
us,
that.
our human mind cannot comprehend certain things, right?
Mm-hmm. I understand that.
It's great. Because we don't commit crimes in a bubble. Nothing we do is isolated.
I'm not saying that there is no gray area when things happen. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is the standard is still the standard regardless if the gray area is there or not. The standard is still you shouldn't do it. And that's what I'm saying is we should hold each other to that standard. I'm not saying you have to punish everybody the same exact way, but I can't sit there and say it's fine because you were in distress, so that's okay.
Here's another thing that we're not considering. Right? We're not considering the fact that the standard is not objective. Okay. Right? Meaning that everybody doesn't hold the same standard or live by the same set of rules and values.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. We live by a certain set of rules and values because of the Christendom inside of us. Right? Other people who are not exposed to the Christendom, who don't have access to this Christendom, who grew up in an environment where if it's not, you know what I mean, where it's okay to steal if you ain't got it because they got it, right? If they grew up in that environment, their objective, their standard is different.
Right, okay.
If their standard is different, who's to say that that person is wrong? Wrong by our standards, not his.
So if you never, say you were born, but you never heard about like God or the Bible or anything, right?
Let's take God and the Bible out of it.
If you didn't know any of that, do you think you would come to the conclusion that some things are wrong and right?
I think what I consider to be wrong and right would be totally different than somebody else.
Okay, but would you think that killing somebody would be wrong or right? And never heard about the Bible or any religion. Would you think that, hey, killing somebody is a right or wrong thing?
It depends on, that's what I'm telling you. It depends on the environment that I grew up in. If I grew up in an environment where niggas die every day and get shot, why would I think that's wrong? It's everyday life.
Even everyday, would you feel like it's not right?
I don't know.
I'm just asking.
How would I know that?
I'm just asking, like, do you think?
No, Chantel's bringing something else into it. What I'm saying is that for the person who grows up seeing people get shot every day, right or wrong, they're not going to feel any right or wrong about that. You know what they're going to feel like? It's life. Just like rain falls from the sky happens every day. People get murdered every day. I don't feel no type of way about the rain. Why would I feel some type of way about Joe getting shot?
I understand that, but it's different.
Is the rain wrong? No, exactly, right?
No,
but that's what I'm telling you. Think about something that happens so naturally that it's like rain falling from the sky.
All right,
I don't have an opinion about rain being right.
So imagine if you're like a kid with an alcoholic dad who beats your mom, and that's what you grew up thinking. So it wasn't nothing to you, but you knew it was wrong. No one had to tell you it was wrong to know it's wrong.
No, that's not true, Anthony.
Do you think
that's not true? Because how many people then leave that? My phone's about to die. Okay. How many people then leave that and then go beat their wife because it was normal?
I'm saying, but at that point, did they think it was right watching that? Do you think if you were seeing something,
it was
normal or not, would you think it's right to kill somebody or hurt somebody? Is that right?
That's what I'm telling you, Anthony. If it's something is so normal like rain falling from the sky, I may not have an opinion about right or wrong on it. I can't, because that's all I've seen. From the time that I was 0 to the time that I was 15, I saw my mom get hit upside her head when she yelled at my dad. So you know what I think? I think that maybe she shouldn't yell at my dad if she don't want to get hit. Not that hitting her is wrong, but that maybe she shouldn't yell if she doesn't want to get hit. So me seeing that, I normalize that, and what do? I repeat the cycle.
Okay.
If I don't have any positive or anything to come in and interject that, I will repeat the cycle. It takes a hell of a person. It takes a hell of a person. It takes a hell of an anointing, and it takes a hell of a character, right? To see that situation and then break the cycle on your own, right? That is the exception to the rule. That's not the rule. That kid is an anomaly.
Okay, understood. I just feel like, personally, it seems like people have a moral compass in general.
From what? Where would they get it from?
In general.
Where would they get it from?
I mean, if you can ask anybody, they know to some degree it's right or wrong.
Anybody who?
Just in general. You can ask anybody, anybody.
Yes, you could, but guess what? That list of what's right and wrong would be drastically different.
No, I'm saying in the sense of like murder. I don't think anybody out there is saying, hey, murder is great. I think everybody still kind of knows.
I think you would be surprised.
Wrong.
I think you would be surprised.
I'm not saying that people don't care. Maybe that people don't care.
I'm saying you would be surprised at the situations that think that it's okay for people to murder somebody. You'd be surprised at what people come up with that say in that situation it's okay. In this instance, it's okay.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Okay. So it's not wrong.
I
think you'd be surprised.
Okay.
Instagram, tell me what y'all think. YouTube, comment,
valid point.
Comment. Tell us what you think.
I just feel like, which I don't have a basis like 100% facts, but I do think everybody has a moral compass to some degree. And I'm not saying about, oh, you tripped and you kicked me or whatever. I mean like on big stuff, like when it comes to killing somebody or causing somebody harm. I think everyone knows, because you don't even like that to yourself. You wouldn't want that for yourself. You wouldn't want someone to shoot you. You wouldn't want somebody to stab you.
I think you're talking about that one person that wants something different.
No, I'm just saying in general, people, I think that everyone has a moral compass to some degree. Maybe they ignore it. Maybe they don't care. Maybe they justify it. But deep down, they still know they probably shouldn't have done it without having to know God, which is a moral standard that most people live by in general that I've seen. I'm not saying that they don't do it. I'm not saying that they don't, cognitive distance themselves and decide to do it and think of it differently. What I'm saying is they still kind of know somewhere that it's wrong.
Well, also, you're a very optimistic person, so you're probably looking at it as you see the best in everyone.
No, that's not necessarily the case. I'm not saying that to say that they won't do it. I'm not saying that to say like they're not gonna. What I'm saying is they still know. That's what I'm thinking. You still do it. You can still do it. You can still know deep down, but never say it and still do it and be like, fuck it anyways. Right?
I don't know.
Like you said murder is wrong, but then you can kill somebody under the circumstances and it's okay. So that's what I'm talking about. But then I think everyone knows it's still wrong to do. Because I think you know that you wouldn't want yourself killed in that manner. That's what I think. It's like self-preservation. If you care about yourself, then you would know that some things are right
or you wouldn't want yourself to be killed. You wouldn't want that happen to you, so you know what you would do?
Kill other people.
No.
What?
You would convince yourself not to be the person that got shot. Whatever it was that he did, you would disassociate yourself with that instinct or with whatever that was, because that got him killed.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
But you still realize it was wrong.
No. Because if it was wrong, then I would say, dang, let me go tell on the person that just killed Johnny. That's terrible. How could you kill Johnny?
You don't want to die.
Exactly.
But you know he shouldn't have done that. And you know you don't want that for you.
No.
That's the moral standard.
No, instead, the way you think is Johnny shouldn't have done whatever he did to get shot. Okay. That's how you think about that. Not, oh no, they shouldn't have shot him. The way you think about that is Johnny shouldn't have did that.
Okay.
Why the fuck would Johnny do that? Like, that's what you think about. Okay. Not that the person that killed Johnny was out of pocket. No, you don't think the person that killed Johnny was out of pocket. What you think is Johnny's an idiot. How could Johnny be caught slipping like that?
Right.
How could Johnny do whatever the fuck he did to get shot? Johnny is a mark. Johnny's stupid.
I just disagree.
That's how you think about that.
I disagree.
It's kind of like children growing up in a family. You see one kid get whipped, and you like, okay, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, like you don't think whooping. You don't necessarily grow up thinking whoopings are bad. Although you might, but you might grow up thinking, damn, I'm not gonna eat sandwiches on the floor, because every time somebody eats sandwiches on the floor, they get their ass beat.
Exactly, but you don't want that because you know it's not good.
No, you don't want that because it hurt, not because you know it's not good.
You don't think it's good. You don't think it's good.
No,
you're trying to avoid something that's painful. That's not good for you.
Don't mistake. Okay. Don't mistake pain, right? Feeling pain for also thinking that something is wrong.
Okay.
Don't mistake those two things.
Okay. I understand that.
It's not the same thing.
I understand that.
It's not the same thing. So I'm thinking, yes, I don't want to get beat. Not because beating people is wrong, but because the shit hurts.
Right. I get that. But I still think there's a part of you in there that knows. I just still think I just disagree. I just disagree.
It's cool. That's what makes for great conversations.
I just truly believe that everybody has some kind of moral compass and standard. Some degree. Maybe they don't follow it, maybe they ignore it, but they know deep down. I think
that's a huge assumption. And we were talking about
it is assumption.
And we were talking on the last podcast about how, we shouldn't make assumptions of people.
I'm not making this. I'm going to make this assumption.
That's an assumption.
I'm okay making this
That's an assumption. The assumption is that everybody has some sort of moral.
To some degree.
That's a huge assumption. And here's the thing,
and
though.
I'm not saying
even worse than that. That's the expectation that we have of other people, and that's the reason why we get disappointed when they fall short, because we're expecting them to have something that they don't have.
No, I'm not saying you have to follow it. I'm saying that I think you know.
But that's the thing, though. When
you
we're
don't have
dealing,
to follow it.
No, you don't have to follow it. But when we're dealing with people, we have certain assumptions about the things that they have and is possessed.
Right.
And because we have that assumption that they have a moral compass, we're expecting them to act and govern a certain way. And then when they don't do it, we fucked up.
I understand that, but in this assumption,
we're fucked up because we're expecting them to give us something that they don't have.
I understand. In this assumption, I'm not assuming that you're going to follow it. I'm just saying
It's not about following it.
You don't have to follow it.
I'm acting some type of way based on the fact that I think you have something that you don't have. It's not about them at that point. It's about me and what I'm expecting.
Okay.
It's about me and my anger when they don't give it to me the way I'm expecting them to give it to me.
Got it. Okay.
We're expecting them to give us something that they don't have.
Okay.
It's in relationships. Like when you love somebody, right? And you pouring in your love and you pouring it into them and you pouring it into them. And I don't understand why this person can't just love me back.
I get that.
Because they don't know how.
I understand that.
They don't know how.
They don't know how in a healthy way.
They don't know how. They don't know what that looks like. What you're giving them.
A healthy
No. What you're giving them is foreign.
I can understand that.
That energy that you're giving them is foreign. Nobody's ever given me that. Nobody's ever talked to me like this. Nobody's ever not wanted something from me. Nobody's ever not wanted to have sex with me. You understand? I don't know. This is weird. And you want me to give you something that I've never experienced?
But it's not about expecting them to give me something. All I'm saying is they know right from wrong. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. It's a really long. It says. Someone wrote something. Not everybody does understand.
Even older people. Okay, so not everybody does understand something. Even older people at certain ages in there, as they get older, and a bit naive. Sorry. Oh, can you read the rest? I can't get it back up. Something that they didn't understand because they didn't understand it and grow up. That's called holding others to your expectation.
Yep.
Which I'm not saying that I'm not saying is because I assume that they have a moral compass that I'm assuming or expecting them to act on that. All I'm saying is deep down, I think we all know to some degree what's right and wrong when big issues, particularly to murder. So that's what I'm saying. No, I'm just saying I'm using an example because it's a good example. It's a good universal example.
Yo, YouTube, I want the comments to go up on this part. I want the comments to go up so much on this part. Like, I want y'all to be like, ooh, no, I think this. Ooh, no, Anthony, right. Ooh, no. Like, I want you to tell me.
I mean, because I understand what you guys are saying, and I get it. I just think, and I'm assuming that everybody's still in somewhere tinkling in their little heart.
Never make assumptions.
Knows that
is one of the agreements.
So, I'm going to assume it, but I'm not expecting you to follow it. That's my thing is it doesn't bother me. I don't have any problem with it because I'm not expecting you to act on it. I'm not expecting you to be a certain way. All I'm saying is I think you still know.
Is you got it.
As long as I think you still know. That's what I'm saying. Oh, you okay?
All right, on that note.
But yeah, we're going to end it.
Instagram.
We're going to end this,
See you later.
Guys.
It's been fun.
Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Thank you for your comments. I really appreciate it.
Do I want to share it to my IG story?
We can wrap the podcast though. But this is good. I think this is really good. But yeah, I still think I'm going to believe that until proven otherwise. Until someone tells me that murder is never wrong, I can kill anybody and do whatever I want and know nothing, like it doesn't matter, and I want that for me. You can say that and believe that truly deep in your heart, then maybe I'll change my answer. But until I don't really see people doing that.
What about if you work in armed forces and you have to kill people?
It's still wrong. But you had to do it, but you're still wrong. Your conscience is still be like, I still killed somebody. Somebody's life is completely over because of the decision I made.
But what if it's you or them?
I'm not saying I wouldn't kill anybody under certain circumstances. What I'm saying is, circumstance or not, it would still be wrong. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why that's so hard to understand.
I'll let you have it.
Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what I think. So
this was a good ass conversation, though.
It was.
Good ass conversation.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Chantel. So, guys, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. I always forget to say that in there. Subscribe, notification bell, comment, and
comment. I really do. I'm really interested to hear what other people have to say about this conversation.
Yeah, with everything from Joe Biden to president to token to
token.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so no, like that was the guy saying like a president was a token piece.
It's some hoes in this house.
Oh yeah, and then Cardi B on top of it. And I don't know what my wife is like spelling in the back. She's trying to say something. Just you can just say it. Voting? Oh, go vote your local. Go vote
voting. Local elections for show. I may
have changed my mind. Honestly, I realized that my thinking was flawed in that, and so I decided to, for show. Change my position on voting completely. I'm still not voting presidency, but I will vote locally.
So, we could for sure say,
I don't mind being wrong. It's okay.
Get some votes in this house.
Get some votes in this house. Get some votes. That's a good one. That's a good one.
But it don't have the same ring to it as get some hoes in this house. That's why
because derogatory stuff sounds cooler sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. It's bad.
That's why we flawed as a people.
Like shit that sounds like worse sounds way cooler. Like
some hoes in this house.
It's like guy is married and taking care of his kids. Nobody cares.
Nope.
Oh, husband is cheating on his wife with this so and so. I'm like, what's that?
That's true. Dang, we suck, bro.
Oh my gosh, I want to hear that. Oh, man's taking care of his kids and doing everything he needs, making a great husband. Wife is together, blah blah blah. Knowing there's a damn.
We need to be better.
And then it's like, oh, she cheated. Oh my God, let's stop everything and go find out. Oh, damn, look at that. It's like, So let's try to put out some good news. Put more good news out there.
More good news in the world.
Be positive. Just be positive,
For sure.
There's a lot of good things to be grateful for. I'm not going to lie.
That's true.
There's way more things to be grateful for than there is to be bad about.
If you just take a minute.
Come on.
Like, just take a minute.
We can always find something to be mad at. Really, there's so much more good going in your life than is bad.
I will make myself write down 5 things that I'm grateful for. And depending on the mood, it'll be hard. I'll be like,
I understand.
I still got my card. Like, it will be real shallow and real surface stuff, but I guarantee you by number 5, you're going to be damn near in tears. Like, man, God really been good.
Because you got to think like, dang, like I'm just tripping on this stuff. Like, this is so, but yeah, thank you guys.
5 things that you're grateful for.
How about this? In the next podcast, we're going to say our 5 things. Okay? Bring it to the table next week.
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Mine will be very interesting because I got a lot of stuff I like.
All right,
I'm bringing more than 5.
15.
I'm pretty like 35. Life is good. I mean, bad things happen, but life is good.
That's true. For the most part, we chilling.
Yeah. So all right, guys. So next time, thank you guys for tuning in on Unpack Your Bag Podcast. Go ahead, hit the like, subscribe, comment, and tell us your thoughts. And until next time on Unpack Your Bag Podcast, peace, love, and hair grooves. Talk to you soon. And go ahead and cuss on the way out.
It's some hoes in this house. That's all I got.
Later, y'all.
This that shit, make it bounce around, make it dance around, make it lounge around. Now don't stop, come on.